These are 7 of the most popular salad dressing brands in America. Ranch dressing, Italian, Caesar, Thousand Island, and not a single one of them deserves to be on your salad. The test is simple. Flip the bottle over and read the ingredients. What you'll find has almost nothing to do with food. The salad dressing industry generates over $3 billion a year in the United States alone. Ranch dressing alone holds over 20% of that market. That kind of money doesn't come from olive oil and fresh herbs. It comes from cheap seed oils, processed fillers, and additives designed to keep bottles stable on shelves for months, sometimes years. Today we're going to flip 7 of those bottles, read exactly what's inside, and then I'll show you 3 brands that actually use real ingredients and practice genuine ingredient transparency. Let's start. Brand 1. Hidden Valley Ranch. Hidden Valley is the best-selling ranch dressing in America. Nearly every grocery store in the country carries it. What most people don't know is that Hidden Valley is owned by the Clorox Company. Yes, the same company that makes bleach, which tells you something about how this product is engineered. So let's flip the bottle. The first ingredient after water is soybean oil. Not olive oil, not avocado oil. Soybean oil, a seed oil, and one of the most heavily processed and cheapest cooking oils on the market. It's loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which in the quantities most Americans consume them, nutritionists increasingly flag as a concern. Then comes sugar, salt, monosodium glutamate, modified food starch, phosphoric acid, calcium disodium EDTA, and artificial flavors. A single 2-tablespoon serving contains 260 milligrams of sodium. That's a significant amount for something most people pour without measuring. And that MSG isn't there by accident. It's an engineered flavor enhancer designed to make the dressing taste better than its ingredients actually are. The FDA classifies MSG as generally recognized as safe, but that classification doesn't tell you why a bottle of ranch needs a flavor enhancer in the first place, unless the base ingredients aren't good enough to stand on their own. The real question is this: if you spent money on fresh greens, maybe even grew your own lettuce, why would you coat them in seed oils and artificial flavors? The dressing should complement the food, not contradict it. Brand 2. Kraft Thousand Island. Kraft has been a household name for generations, so people trust what's on the label without actually reading it. Here's what you'll find when you flip this bottle. High fructose corn syrup. Right there on the ingredient list of a savory dressing. Kraft adds it because it triggers your brain's reward system, making you want more. That's not a health claim, that's food engineering. Beyond the corn syrup, there's soybean oil again, another seed oil, along with modified food starch and natural flavors, which is a deliberately vague term that can represent dozens of undisclosed chemical compounds. A 2-tablespoon serving contains 4 grams of sugar. Most people use 3 to 4 times that amount on a full salad, which means you could be adding 12 to 16 grams of sugar to what you thought was your healthiest meal of the day. That's roughly 4 sugar cubes sitting on top of your lettuce. Brand 3. Wishbone Italian. Italian dressing should be one of the simplest recipes that exists. Oil, vinegar, herbs, done. A vinaigrette, that's the technical term for any oil and acid-based dressing, is by definition one of the least processed things you can put on a salad. But Wishbone tells a different story. Flip the bottle and you'll find high fructose corn syrup in what's supposed to be a tangy vinaigrette. There's also soybean oil, xanthan gum, calcium disodium EDTA, polysorbate 60, and natural flavors. These last two, polysorbate 60 and xanthan gum, are food emulsifiers, synthetic and semi-synthetic compounds used to bind ingredients that would otherwise separate. 240 milligrams of sodium per serving. And here's a simple test you can do at home. Make a basic Italian dressing with olive oil and vinegar. It separates. You shake it before you pour. That's what real emulsion looks like. Wishbone stays perfectly blended on the shelf for months because of those chemical stabilizers your kitchen has never seen. The Italian flag on the label and the word classic printed on the front suggest tradition and simplicity. The ingredient list says the opposite. Brand 4. Ken's Steakhouse Creamy Caesar. Ken's markets itself as restaurant-quality Caesar you can enjoy at home. But real restaurant Caesar is made fresh with olive oil, fresh lemon, Parmesan, garlic, and anchovy. Let's see what Ken's actually delivers. Soybean oil is the base. Then come egg yolks, anchovy paste, Parmesan cheese, and a list of thickeners and preservatives. A 2-tablespoon serving packs 170 calories and 18 grams of fat, and the sodium hits 280 milligrams per serving. The texture is the giveaway. Real Caesar made from scratch is loose, bright, and clean-smelling. Ken's is thick and almost gelatinous because it relies on food emulsifiers, gums, and synthetic binders to hold its shape on the shelf. That slightly sharp, acidic smell you get when you open the bottle? That's oxidized soybean oil. Fresh olive oil doesn't smell like that. Brand 5. Newman's Own Ranch. Newman's Own has built its entire reputation on trust, the charitable mission, the famous face on the label, the sense that you're buying something better. But flip the bottle and you'll find 310 milligrams of sodium per serving, higher than Hidden Valley, higher than most competitors. The ingredient list includes soybean oil, distilled vinegar, sugar, and the same parade of thickeners and preservatives found in budget brands. The ingredients inside a bottle of Newman's Own Ranch are remarkably similar to dressings that cost half the price. What you're paying extra for isn't better ingredients, it's the brand story. And the charitable giving, as admirable as it is, doesn't change what's actually in the bottle. 310 milligrams of sodium is 310 milligrams of sodium, regardless of whose face is on the label. Brand 6. Brianna's Homestyle Blush Wine Vinaigrette. Brianna's has an elegant bottle, a sophisticated name, and the word Homestyle printed right on the front. Everything about it signals quality. So let's flip it. 5 grams of sugar per 2 tablespoon serving. That's more sugar than some dessert toppings contain. And this is supposed to be a vinaigrette, the lighter, healthier alternative to creamy dressings. Dig deeper into the ingredients and you'll find high fructose corn syrup, soybean oil, xanthan gum, and sodium benzoate as a preservative. No home cook adds high fructose corn syrup to a vinaigrette. No family recipe calls for sodium benzoate. What Brianna's labels as homestyle is factory-produced dressing in an upscale bottle. The marketing creates an expectation of care and craft. The ingredient list tells you it's the same industrial formula as everything else on the shelf, just with prettier packaging. Brand 7. Walden Farms Zero-Calorie Thousand Island. Walden Farms takes a completely different approach. 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 carbs, 0 sugar. Every number on the nutrition label reads 0. That sounds like a miracle until you ask the obvious question, what's actually in it? Flip the bottle. Water, vinegar, cellulose gel, xanthan gum, sucralose, artificial flavors, artificial colors. What's missing from that list is actual food. The creaminess comes from cellulose gel, which is a fiber derived from wood pulp. The sweetness comes from sucralose, an artificial sweetener. The color comes from a lab. Walden Farms isn't dressing. It's flavored, thickened water with artificial sweetener in it. And there's a real irony here. People who buy Walden Farms are usually the most health-conscious shoppers in the aisle. They're reading labels, watching calories, trying to make careful choices. But in the pursuit of zero on every line of the nutrition panel, they've ended up with a product that contains 0 actual nutrition. You can't strip food of everything and still call it food. Now here's where things change. Because there are brands doing this the right way, what the industry now calls clean label brands. These are companies that have committed to ingredient transparency as a non-negotiable standard, and you can verify it yourself in about 10 seconds. Real ingredient pick number 1. Primal Kitchen Ranch, made with avocado oil. Flip this bottle and the difference is immediate. The first ingredient is avocado oil, a source of monounsaturated fat, the same category of healthy fat found in olive oil, that your body can actually use. Then comes organic eggs, organic vinegar, and real seasonings. The full ingredient list is short enough to read in about 10 seconds. No soybean oil, no seed oils of any kind, no high fructose corn syrup, no MSG, no artificial preservatives, no vague natural flavors hiding unknown compounds. 130 milligrams of sodium per serving, which is lower than most of the brands we just covered, and every ingredient paired with that sodium is something you could find in a home kitchen. The founder, Mark Sisson, built Primal Kitchen specifically because he couldn't find a single clean dressing on the shelf. That frustration produced a brand where the label actually matches the marketing. Real ingredient pick number 2, Tessemae's Organic Creamy Ranch. Tessemae's starts with organic sunflower oil and organic vinegar. It's USDA Organic Certified, which means the sourcing and production standards are verified by a third party, not just claimed on the label. No soy, no gluten, no refined sugars. 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. But what makes Tessemae's stand out is the ingredient transparency. Every single ingredient is listed clearly, with nothing hidden behind vague terminology. The company started in a family kitchen and scaled to a national brand without swapping out real ingredients for cheap industrial seed oils. That kind of consistency is rare in this industry. Real ingredient pick number 3, Sir Kensington's Classic Ranch. Sir Kensington's uses sunflower oil as its base, along with organic egg yolks, organic distilled vinegar, and real buttermilk. The ingredient list is clean and readable. No high fructose corn syrup, no artificial preservatives, no MSG, 130 milligrams of sodium per serving. The brand was acquired by Unilever in 2017, which raised concerns about quality. But to their credit, the ingredient list has stayed clean. What you read on the back of a bottle of Sir Kensington's today is still what it was before the acquisition. That's worth noting because it's not the norm. When big food companies acquire smaller clean label brands, the ingredients often change quietly over time. So far, Sir Kensington's has held the line. Here's the takeaway. The test isn't complicated. Next time you pick up a bottle of salad dressing, flip it over. If the first ingredient is soybean oil or any seed oil, put it back. If you see high fructose corn syrup in a vinaigrette, put it back. If the ingredient list is longer than a paragraph, put it back. A good dressing should have a short list of ingredients you recognize, an oil your body can use, something with monounsaturated fats, not industrially processed seed oils, and nothing that requires a chemistry degree to pronounce. The clean label movement exists because enough people started flipping those bottles and demanding better. Your salad deserves better than what most of these brands are selling, and now you know exactly which bottles to reach for instead.